Alright everyone, today is the first truly warm, sort of springy day. Last night there was basically a risk of frost, higher elevation. As far as I know though, from here on out the night should be 40 to 45 degrees minimum at low, and during the day it'll be in the 60s mostly. You can hear the neighbor mowing his monocultured lawn, of course. But it's time to look at this back garden here, because this was prepared. You know, we tilled it through earlier. I'm going to start this side. Now then, that's asparagus right there. A couple of them appear to have actually survived attacks by squirrels. Keep in mind, this is all hugelkultur here. This was actually down there before. It's raised up almost a foot. Most of that's old rotting wood. You pile it in there, you put some compost in, all good. Lots of horseradish. I harvested about 2 pounds of horseradish root earlier that's serviceable. And it would have been 3, except there were a couple that were kind of fucked up, basically. You can see all the rhubarb. Most of that's strawberry rhubarb, which is sweeter, it's smaller, it's better for strawberry rhubarb pie or something. Some people use the big kinds, and they like the contrast in flavor. I like it to be a little sweeter, honestly. I'm not a huge fan of it anyway, but, you know, for what it's worth. Lots and lots of various plants planted in here today. This was all done about an hour ago. Lots of marigolds. I planted the columbines. I dug everything out, pulled them out, got rid of the weeds, dug in the composted soil and popped them back in. There's a snapdragon, well, a couple of them. Snapdragons, English daisies, you know, the iris, of course, over there. The I think it's called a Prince Lucifer, if I remember correctly. Basically, I need one more bag of the good soil for this little area, but back here, I hope you can actually hear me over that fucking incessant mowing. It's like, you know, you wait another day. No. This, I'm not even 100% sure what this little vining plant is, but it makes little flowers and it looks attractive. So I'm trying to let it take over basically the area it's in. I'm going to take the irises and the bush out, and the lilies, and put them elsewhere. And what I've thought of, keep this in mind, these red bricks that I got a while ago, back when I didn't know what direction I wanted to take this garden. I'm thinking of using them here and making a second terrace. That is, that this will be a foot higher. More cinder block and more brick, literally raise it up even further with a hugelkultur. And it'll actually be like a garden within a garden, and it'll have this like sort of over the edge. It'll be dripping down. That'll make it easier because I can always keep it trimmed more easily. So it sounds like a good idea to me. But yeah, you can see a little bit of damage from walking through. This all got tilled up. 5 bags of good compost added over in that corner, which got planted. This was already, you know, improved, but it hadn't been planted yet. There's still a little bit of room. Put in a couple petunias, more marigolds maybe. Those will get huge actually, because they're somewhat resistant to cold. I'm not planting anything on this side yet, because all of this over here past the rhubarb, I did plant asparagus, and if one of them is coming up, the others could. So I'm going to give them a week, and I'm going to see. Many thanks to my subscriber who sent me a whole bag of crowns. At least 3 of them, therefore, did survive. You can see all the thistle plants there. And my boots. Yes, that's my normal manner of dress when I'm gardening. Vermont never really gets hot enough to warrant wearing shorts. Can you imagine me in shorts? I mean, come on, dude. Got an image to maintain and shit. Also, might as well show you this. These are black raspberry plants. These got trimmed down to almost nothing, so they should be actually loaded with stuff. I'm going to pump them full of fertilizer. I'm going to put azomite in. What I want to do is trench that out, dump in a shit ton of azomite, water it in with some fish meal, and we'll be good to go, basically. In here you can see everything's still going really well. This is a second steel drum of water. This is just azomite in here. The other one has the nettle water, so I needed a second. Actually, for watering purposes, I hadn't thought of that before. I'm like, oh shit, yeah, while this is curing, what am I supposed to do on a dry day? Tomorrow, though, I'm thinking, I'll show you. I mean, I know I did a garden update yesterday. I'm more enthusiastic this year because things are so great. Yeah. If I had to describe the smell of nettle water, which looks like, you know, basically pond scum. It's kind of thick and weird. Rotting tomatoes, maybe? Really strong rotting tomatoes. Something like that. It's got an acrid smell. It sort of tingles your nostrils a little bit. God, with all this sun, though, everything got freshly watered last night. It's in the best soil I've ever worked with. freshly weeded with this kind of weather that's coming up for the next week. Once I put that fucking azomite nettle water, which is rich in iron, you shouldn't put it on tomatoes, by the way, apparently. I'm glad I looked that up first. Can you imagine how big this shit's going to be in a week? We'll be practically harvesting things. And the zucchini will probably be, 2 feet wide by then. Look at how fast the Swiss chard is growing just from yesterday, too. Some of them have third leaves on them already. It's going to be so tasty. I'm going to eat every one of them. I like the stems. Everyone can be grouped into one of 3 groups of people. People who hate Swiss chard, people who like the leaves, which is, it sort of tastes like spinach a bit, and people like me who like the stems, which is sort of a little bit salty. It's got a sort of salted, vegetable-y, almost celery-like flavor. I think it's wonderful. I don't know, those sweet basil back there are still a little peaked. If they die, I'll just replace them. And I want more Thai basil too, because that stuff, this is what it is. God, this bed's so great. This stuff right here, the Thai basil. I'm sorry, I'm taking a leaf. Oh, it smells so good. It's got a little bit of a sweetness to it, almost a licorice scent, as opposed to other basils. It smells literally like licorice. If you crush it, it smells like a, candy. Oof, excellent. Yeah, so there's a garden update. The back garden's almost done now too. I gotta get another bag of compost. I might raise that area up, rip those perennials out, move them, or just break them up. But I gotta wait a week. I gotta wait a week to see if any asparagus comes up, essentially. Lots of columbines. I'm glad of that. So now to my Texas friend out there, if they still watch my videos, it's not 1 columbine anymore, it's 4 of them. Dear God. I can keep expanding the garden forever. I don't care where I am. Wherever I am, I must garden. That's about all. Peace out.